Metaphor ReFantazio gets a big blowout of information coming up. We've got the first reviews of some highly anticipated JRPG games, and we've got a ton of announcements from the most recent Nintendo Indieworld showcase and some stuff that I want to highlight that I think looks pretty good and a bit more. But before we get into that, what's good everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you are someone new, and click that notification bell to get my videos first. And let's go ahead and first jump right into the big information here with Metaphor ReFantazio. This is my #1 most anticipated game for 2024, and I think one of the games that could be a game of the year candidate. I think Metaphor ReFantazio is going to be awesome. So we've got a big blowout of information, essentially a Atlas Metaphor ReFantazio Direct that's going to be happening here pretty soon. So Atlas will host an Atlas exclusive Metaphor ReFantazio April 23rd, 2024 broadcast on April 22nd at 3 p.m. PT / 6 p.m. ET and 7 JST, 3 p.m. PT, 6 p.m. Eastern time this upcoming Monday on April 22nd. Now, the company did announce you will be able to watch it on YouTube in English, Japanese, and traditional Chinese. Now, the broadcast will run for approximately 30 minutes, so there's going to be plenty of information. We're going to get never before seen gameplay from this new fantasy RPG from the director Kazuda Hashino. Now, there will be the English live stream. It'll feature English subtitles with dubbed audio. And if you remember the last one that they did, the creator's vision, that had some interesting dubbed audio that people thought was funny, but we'll see if they use the same one or if it's something different. But I'm very excited for this, guys. This is from the Persona team. This is their first new big RPG that they have made in a very long time. So it's very cool to see them doing something like this. This is essentially a game direct. So we've had Xenoblade Chronicles 3 direct, or we've had like a Final Fantasy direct. We've had certain directs based singularly on games, and that's exactly what this is. Looks like Atlas is calling it Atlas exclusive, and then it'll be whatever game they're talking about. So maybe for Persona 6, there'll be Atlas exclusive Persona 6 in the future. So I like this. This is a trend that Nintendo started back in the day a bit, and now most of the companies out there all have either directs that they do or directs based off of games, presentations, and it's fantastic. This is always, to me, the best way to get your information out the way that you want to. It's going to be curated, it's going to be edited, you can dub it the way that you want, you can subtitle it the way that you want, you can do everything that you need to do to make sure fans know exactly what product you're bringing to the market, what features you have, and content creators like myself can watch it, break it down, research, and do all of that. So this is the best way to hype the game. This is the best way to get people excited about what you're offering and showing off the features. So this is great. I'm going to be watching, and I also will be live streaming my reaction to this. So if you want to stop by 3 p.m. PT April 22nd, I will be here right here on this channel live streaming it, talking about it, and we'll probably be live beforehand. So you can probably come around maybe 2 o'clock or so PT, or maybe even earlier than that, to talk about the game, discuss game of the year candidates, discuss all sorts of stuff, right? So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think that this game, for me at least, it's my #1 game for 2024 so far. It's going to be awesome. Cannot wait to see more on it. But speaking of cannot waiting to see more, we've got some first reviews of some highly anticipated JRPGs out there. The latest Famitsu has reviewed Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes for all the different platforms and Saga Emerald Beyond. So let's start off with Saga Emerald Beyond. This game is coming out pretty soon here for Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, I think mobile and PC. And it's got a 33 out of 40, so a solid game. It looks like it's a good game. I was a little worried about this game, even though I had it on some of my most anticipated lists. The Nintendo Switch version of the game has some frame rate drops here and there with main special attacks, but it's just a demo. It's not the full game, but I think once you actually get into the full game and experience all the different stories, it seems to be a very enjoyable experience based off of the first review here. But we do have to wait and see for more. Opinions will definitely vary on a game like this. Now, next up is Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, which is also coming out very soon here as well. And that game got a 33 out of 40, but that one had a little bit more of a range. How Famitsu does their reviews, they get 4 people to review the same game, and they'll split it up into these individual scores. They'll tally it all up, and then it'll be out of 40. The highest score is a 10, the lowest score is a 1. And for Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, it got an 8, a 10, and a 7. So we know who the Suikoden fan is out of the 4 that reviewed the game, or at least somebody who's a super fan of it, because they gave the game a 10, whereas the other 3 reviewers gave it an 8, and a 7 for a 33 out of 40, which is still a good score. So things might vary with this one. Now, they did also say that it takes around 40 hours to clear the main story, and it has over 100 hours of side activity, so there's plenty to do in the game, and even the core story does take quite some time. So you're absolutely getting value for your dollar here, and I will be playing Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. I don't know what system I'll be getting it on. I think I got a PC copy coming from the people who make the game, so that's awesome. And I think I'll probably pick up a Switch copy as well, so I do want to just have the game physical. So this is great. It's great to finally see Eiyuden Chronicle come out and it be a solid, good game. People have been fiending for a Suikoden style of game since Konami was doing nothing with the franchise for the longest time. And then they said, okay, yeah, we're bringing it back, Suikoden 1 and 2, but now we also have this game as well. So it looks like this type of RPG can make a little bit of a comeback here. So if you're interested in it, make sure you support Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. Make sure you support a game like Suikoden 1 and 2 Remastered when those finally come out. And of course, if you're into the AA RPG scene, something like Saga Emerald Beyond, not a bad score at all. And there's a demo for Saga Emerald Beyond on the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation and all that. So good stuff all around. But speaking of good stuff all around, let's talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It is back on the Nintendo Switch with a new game that's from the Apple Arcade of all places. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate, officially confirmed this July for the Nintendo Switch. So Super Evil Megacorp will release rogue-like action game Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate for the Nintendo Switch in July as a timed console exclusive, the developer announced. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splinter Fate first launched for the Apple Arcade on May 4th, 2023, and I had no idea whatsoever that this game was even a thing. That's how small of a reach Apple Arcade truly has. Quote, at Super Evil, we inspire to make incredible shared gaming moments, and we are very excited to bring Splintered Fate to the Switch to allow more players to play it together with family and friends, both at home and on the go, said Super Evil Megacorp Studio head Ian Fielding in a press release. We're looking forward to collaborating with Paramount Game Studios in delivering many more updates and thrills as part of our long-term commitment to the game and our players. Splinter Missing is just the start. All right there. We also have a little bit of an overview as well. They did say that the game is an award-winning title that has received 22,000 5 out of 5 player reviews that puts players in control of Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello, and Michelangelo in an all-new story co-written by SEMC creative director Kevin Michael Johnson and legendary Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic book writer Tom Waltz, featuring Super Evil's unique fluid combat style mixed with strategic and surprising rogue-like gameplay. The results is a fresh Turtles experience with scores of replayability. The game features fast-flowing combat, a diverse build system that allows players to build elemental-infused Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles of their dreams, bodacious co-op capabilities, and improved visual design, graphics, and audio. Set across 4 unique New York City environments, the game keeps Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fans enthralled from start to finish as players encounter familiar allies, tons of Easter eggs, and references across collectibles and narrative, and encounters with iconic bosses including, of course, the mutant duo Bebop and Rocksteady. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate is designed with Super Evil's core philosophy that gamers across platforms deserve to play beautiful, responsive, and shared experiences. The guiding principle also fuels Super Evil's proprietary Evil Engine, known for unlocking the best possible player experiences by delivering high-performance graphics and precision controls across the widest range of hardware and screen sizes. So hopefully we don't have any issues with frame rate drops or dips, as this is a rogue game where timing, inputs, button presses is very important. So very good stuff here. I like the fact that this style of game is coming. I'm a big fan of how it looks. I'm not a huge fan of rogue-like games, but I do like Hades, and that was the game that kind of told me, okay, I can play these if the gameplay is good enough, and the gameplay here definitely seems pretty good. And I know that there's been other people who have played this game on Apple Arcade and said it's actually good, so I'm looking forward to this one quite a bit. Another game that I wanted to talk about at the Indieworld showcase is Antonblast. That is launching on November 12th, and it looks like an old school Sega Genesis game. There's a demo available right now for you to go play as well. So Antonblast will launch officially for the Nintendo Switch and PC via Steam on November 12th. Developer Summit Spear announced the Switch version is a timed console exclusive. A Switch demo and updated PC demo are available now for you to go play. So Antonblast is an explosive, action-packed retro platformer featuring a destructive twist to classic gameplay and lovingly hand-animated pixel aesthetics inspired by Game Boy Advance, blown up and reimagined for the modern era. Antonblast follows the story of Dynamite Anton, a destruction worker with a bone to pick. When Satan himself steals Anton's prized spirit collection out of envy, Anton just doesn't get mad, he gets even. As Anton, you will be exploring sprawling worlds across Burner Peninsula, smashing them apart with your mighty hammer to find your lost spirits, and eventually march all the way down to Heck to give Satan a piece of your mind. Silky smooth 60 frames per second action platforming and explosive escapes combined with bombastic adventure, blast through buildings, fight your demons, and explore wonky worlds in Antonblast. The key features: shock and awe. Unlike other platforming heroes, Anton's not content to stay in his lane, jet between the foreground and background layers for a 2.5D platforming action. Destructible everything. Use Anton's hammer to break down your environments. Hurry up, it's happy hour. Once Anton gets the end of a level, set off the spirit detonator and dash back to the start before everything blows. 12 unique sprawling worlds and tons to explore. Dynamic play, rush to the end or explore at your own pace. Silky smooth platforming gameplay with best-in-class controls, breathtaking hand-drawn animation, brutal earth-shaking bosses, a groovy retro-flavored dynamic soundtrack, loads of replay value, hard mode, boss rush, and more. And this was one of the highlights of the show for me, was Antonblast. I thought it looked pretty cool, had the vibe of old school, GBA, Sega Genesis style of games with the art style and the animations, and it looks like it flows pretty nicely with its controls and gameplay with the 60 frames and all. So I'm definitely going to check it out. The demo is up for all of you guys to go out there and play. So let me know what you think about Antonblast. I did want to briefly go over a couple other games that I'm excited for as well. SteamWorld Heist 2 is coming to pretty much everything, and that is a sequel to SteamWorld Heist, which is a great game. And then there is a new game from WayForward and Atari, and it's called Yars Rising, and it kind of looks like a Metroidvania 2D platformer style. There's retro mini games, there's stealth traversal, there's classic WayForward aesthetics, 3D environments, but 2D gameplay, science fiction intrigue. So it looks kind of cool. We'll have to wait and see once it comes out. WayForward, at times it's like, okay, it looks kind of cool, looks kind of weird with some of their animations and everything, not as fluid as some of the pixel art stuff that we've seen, but I will give the game a chance. And then last but definitely not least is Cat Quest. Cat Quest 3. I'm not a big cat guy myself, but I've played Cat Quest and I thought it's a pretty cool little action RPG out there for people to play. Cat Quest 3 is back, the return of the cat. You can sail through in real-time combat on your ships and everything, which SteamWorld Heist is also doing naval combat as well. So I think that these are pretty good when it comes to the different games here. And there's other games that looked okay too at the Indieworld showcase. Whether you love it or you hate it when it comes to indie games, it's cool to just have something a little bit different for players out there. I wasn't in love with everything, but there was some games that I thought looked pretty cool from the show. So that's gonna wrap it up here for the Nintendo Switch and RPG news. What do you guys think about everything that we talked about here? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, that wraps it up for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out my other Nintendo Switch and RPG videos right here on screen. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.